What captures my heart about AACI is very simple. It's really about helping people. The core of AACI's work is providing a safety net, providing help and hope to folks who might have nowhere else to turn. We are really proud of the fact that we provide an array of services, from healthcare to a shelter for domestic violence victims, to after-school programs, to a senior center. So if a senior comes to our senior center and they're not feeling well, we can literally walk them to our medical clinic where they can see a doctor who speaks their language. One of the biggest challenges for all of us here at AACI, and the thing that keeps us up at night, is that we see so many folks in our community whose needs are not being met. One of our frustrations is that last year we got 450 calls to our domestic violence hotline who we had to turn away because our shelter was at full capacity.
You are not the first to listen to my story. But each time, if somebody asks me, the only thing that I can say is, I was not born to be a better woman. But I was. It has been a long time. But when you ask me, I'm feeling that he is behind me right now. It seems to me that somebody is going to beat me up at any second.
He was really nice at first. He cared for me. He did things for me. He didn't hit me until I became pregnant. He kicked me on the stomach. He hit me in Vietnam, but my mother told me that he hit me because he loved me and he's jealous. And since a woman married, doesn't matter how bad the husband treats you, you still with him. And he promised to change.
I did not end that relationship. I could not, because he wanted to kill my mom and my son. The last time I was in the hospital with the head trauma, I almost died. I stayed in the hospital for 4 months. He was just a monster to me. But I had to stand that situation because of many other reasons. So I understood that many other people, it's not easy for them to come out of the situation.
After my husband threw me out, I had no money. I was experiencing a nervous breakdown and almost to a point where I wanted to commit suicide. I was basically blind, deaf, mute because of the language and the culture.
He took away all my and my son's paperwork, birth certificate, passport.
Without any knowledge about the system here, they are totally vulnerable to everything, to anything.
My son very afraid of my husband because my husband always hit him and yell at him. He told my son that if my son doesn't want to go with him, then he's gonna beat him to death. He choked me, and then he pushed me down, and the landlord called police, and then police told me it's not safe for me to stay and give me the information.
Most of the folks who come to our shelter really have nowhere else to go. They don't have friends or family who can take them in when a crisis happens, and so we have worked very hard to build a sense of community in our Asian Women's Home and in all of our programs to make it a safe place for families to come.
When I come, I didn't have clothes to wear, so they even give me clothes to me and my son.
Whenever they make the decision to build their life, we will be with them step by step, day by day.
When I left, I didn't know what's gonna be my future. But when I get to the shelter staff helped me a lot. They get me to get my green card and Social Security card. During the time I stayed in the shelter, I learned a lot of things. My advocates took me on a bus to show me how to take bus, to go to doctor, to go to school, and to go to mental health. I learned a lot from the support group. When I was in shelter, they referred me to a parenting class. I am studying in a vocational school to do manicure and also going to ESL class. Now I'm in transitional housing program. I feel a lot more confident. I do have hope for my future. Both me and my son feel safer.
Let them talk, let them listen to other people around them who have the same story, the same situation. And then they feel that I'm not alone.
I don't know what else to say. If there wasn't this program, I don't know, what happened to me.
When I was in the most dark place, I felt like I was a plant that was drying up, and AACI was like water. They gave me life.
I hate to think about what would happen if we weren't here. I think people would lose their lives. I think families would be destroyed. I think kids would be out on the street, involved in gangs. People would be suffering from substance abuse, from mental illness. These are all things that we can treat, whether it's access to good health care, whether that's a safe place for domestic violence victims, whether that's a hot lunch for seniors. We're all in this together, and AACI can't do it alone.
I want to express my appreciation from the bottom of my heart to all the staff and all the people who've helped me at AACI. You've given me and my son a new life, completely new life. I really hope that the bright light that AACI has shown on me will continue to shine for all other people.